Hi, good evening, everybody. Well, the home struggles continue. Let's talk about it coming up. All right, we'll take a look at this. My goodness, I would have went with Anderson. I said it before the game. I would have went with Anderson, an experienced goalie in a game like this. But I can understand they want to give UPL the experience. I can understand that too, I'm just thinking like it was a must-win scenario before the game, and I would have went with the veteran goalie. I would have. But, again, I don't want to just throw it on UPL, which it really was his fault. It really was his fault what happened tonight. The Sabres, by the time they got this game together, if this would have been if there was 4 periods in hockey, we probably would have came back tonight. But it's like, you can't give a team a 5-0 lead on your home ice. At some point, there's a thing called pride, And the Sabres don't have much of it right now. They just don't. They don't have any guts when they can let that happen. I don't care what the excuse is. You do not let an opposing team, a rival, a hated rival, do that on your home ice. You just don't. Or there is an element of lack in your dressing room, which there is. This team lacks physicality. And it lacks grit. And it showed all over the place in this game. Showed all over the place. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, we outshot them 32-29. Face-offs, they dominated 59% to 41. They were 1 for 2 on the power play. Our power play 0 for 1. Our goal scoring on power play has been pretty much non-existent, it feels like, guys, for about a month now. They had 16 hits. We had 17. They had 18 blocks. We had 7. Look at this. Toronto only had 1 giveaway. We had 8. Shots on goal per period. First period, all Toronto, 15-8. And the joke was on, it looked like. Then in the second period, the Sabres, of course, they woke up a bit. Didn't score, but they woke up. And they outshot them 11-8. And it was all Buffalo in the third for quite a while. And we outshot them 13-6. I believe we were outshooting them 10-1 at one point. Scoring. And there it is. Ryan O'Reilly shows on. O'Reilly, Tavares, Bunting. End of first. Keep moving. I don't want to look at this. Second period, Nylander makes it 5-0. And to me, that, believe it or not, in my books, that was the backbreaker. That was it. If we could have made it, if we could have been the team that got a goal, I felt, in that period, I felt like we maybe could get back in the game. But once they got the 5th goal and a 5-goal lead, it was over, pretty much. And in the third period, Quinn, Tuck, Skinner reply. Too little, too late. O'Reilly, of course, seals it. And that was it. O'Reilly gets his hat trick. And the Sabres, with the empty net, and the Sabres go down to the Maple Leafs, folks. So what are we going to do next? Well, we're on the road. We're on the road, but this one stings, guys. This one stings. The boys had an opportunity. Didn't even come close to jumping on it, and for me, they didn't show any. They're a shitty home team. We're just not a good home team. We're not. When we can let this happen over and over, we're not losing at home. We're getting beaten up on home. We're letting them 5, 6, 7 goals at home. It's like I won't watch Granato in the post game because I'll get too angry, so I'm not going to watch it. I'll let you guys tell me. I don't care. I don't care what he has to say. I just don't care. When your team is that not prepared, what are you doing, coach? What are you doing? Why didn't you go with the veteran goalie? Why don't you have the team hitting more? Why don't you have the team playing? If we're going to lose a game like this, why aren't we plummeting these guys' heads on the boards to teach them a lesson? That you might win the game, but you're going to be the team that wakes up bruised all over tomorrow, not us. I don't know. I don't get any answers for this, guys. We live in the soft era. Everything's about, oh my God. Like you see a guy now, if he gets hit on the ice, how people go after the guy. It's like, it's hockey. It's hockey. It's supposed to be physical. It's supposed to be hard. Okay? This isn't like Homer Simpson in Chocolate Land dancing around. This is supposed to be a hard game, guys. So for you guys that say, physical hitting is, you're just soft. You're a wuss. I'll just put it out there. No, the game's supposed to be played and played hard, okay? This is what I always loved about hockey. What you guys love? What if they stopped the hitting in football, guys? What would you say then? Oh, it's part of the new way where we're just not going to hit too hard in football? Come on. Come on. Like, there's got to come a time where the Sabres look in the mirror and say, we just can't do this anymore, where we're just skating and not hitting, at some point. But anyway, it's probably not going to happen this year. And the truth is, guys, it's probably not going to happen till Granato gets fired and we replace him with a coach that's going to implement that thinking in our dressing room. Because what's going to cost Granato, and I'm going to go on the record saying this, what's going to cost Granato his job eventually as the Buffalo Sabres head coach is the lack of physical play in this squad. That's what's going to kill his job eventually. You're not going to get away with it, Granato. You're not going to get away with a non-hitting team being successful. You're just not. Ever. It's never going to happen. And if it does happen and you happen to squeeze into the playoffs, you're getting killed anyway. So, the more I watch this, the more I just get frustrated, because as much as I love the game, guys, I hate our system. I hate it. Our physical play was non-existent, and they were embarrassing us on our home ice, okay? Embarrassing us. And of course, their crowd comes in, Toronto, they think they own the rights to everything, and they don't. They don't. What they own the rights to, guys, is a lot of failure, a lot of playoff failure with their franchises out there. I know they won in the NBA, whoopsie-doo. But, when you got, you're supposed to be the mecca of hockey and you haven't won a playoff series in this long, you got to get it done this year, Toronto. You do. You got to get it done this year. And Toronto could, guys. That is a team that could go deep. That is a team I see the potential that could go deep. They got the veteran leadership. They have an edge if they want to play with it. That's one thing I've seen with the Leafs once in a while. They can play with a nasty edge. It's not often. But if they're going to go in a series against Boston or Tampa, they're going to need it. And they showed up with it kind of last year with Tampa. So we'll see. We'll see what they do in the playoffs. See, now, guys, we got to go into Tampa and do them a favor, which kind of sucks. So the one golden trim to this, if we lose again next game, is it doesn't help Toronto at all. At least ruins their chances to get in the home ice in that series. I think if we are going to be really a playoff threat down the stretch, we're going to just have to play meaner. If we don't play meaner, we're just not going to get in. We're just it's frustrating. It's frustrating losing a game like this because if they could have played with the intensity we had in the third, where was it in the beginning? What? We're going to show these guys respect? Are you kidding me? That's what I felt we were doing, guys. And it was funny because I missed the beginning. I tuned in. Guys, get this. I'm having trouble getting the stream, right? So I get the stream, but I'm with my friend. She's out in Florida, and I'm supposed to meet her tonight when she comes back in to help her with her luggage, 1 a.m. or whatever. And so Dina calls me and tells me we're talking. I say, you know what, I'll tune into the game in a few minutes. She goes, oh, I'm sorry you got your game. I said, it's okay. It's early in the first. I'll tune in a sec. So we're talking. I get off the phone with her. It's 10 minutes in. I turn on the game. It's 3-0. I'm like, you're kidding me. You got to be kidding me. We're in for a long night. Are you serious? So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys except that we're on the road next game. And at least then, we're not at home. But how long can we be bad at home and stick around and play meaningful games? Even that's going to be gone sooner than playoff hopes. You're not going to make the playoffs 11-15 at home. You're just not. We might squeeze in if we finish 500 at home somehow because we went crazy on the road, which I don't think will do it. No. If we're going to be a bad home team, we might as well just take this and wipe it out of our heads and say, you know what, we'll see next year if we can adjust this thing, because I can't stand the fact, okay, and I'm going to go on it again about the hitting because it goddamn bothers me. I can't stand how not only do some of our fans believe it's okay we don't hit, that the actual management, it feels like, and the coaching and the whole organization kind of buries it like the family secret, that they never talk about how we have to get more physical. I just never hear it out of their mouths. Did you notice what happened when we were down, like, what was it, 4-0, I believe it was, 4-0? When they made it 4-0, Tuck was hitting everything at one point for a few minutes. Like, let them loose, Granato. Stop at the damn transition. It doesn't work. That system doesn't work, okay? It works for about half a season, then it crashes and burns. It won't work. You have to play 60 minutes of physical hockey to win a Stanley Cup, to win games, to get in the playoffs, all of it. You can't be the worst hitting team in hockey and make the playoffs. Except Colorado. They did it. What happened to them every year? Choke, 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 till they learned and said, we can't do this no more. We have to hit everything that's in front of us, and then we'll try to win, you know? And that's what they did. They won the cup. So, yeah, I'm ticked off, but hey, man, it's like, you know, you lose at home to Toronto in a scenario like this, you're all pissed off too, guys. Like, you know, I know what the answer is to this. That's what drives me crazy as a fan. I've watched hockey like since the 1960s, guys. I know what they need to do to fix this, and it's glaring. I just don't get how our organization can be this stupid to not know. How can they not know that we have to fix this issue? How can they not know? They have to know. If they don't know, we're lost. Doesn't matter how much we build this team, we're done anyway. So, yeah, mini rant. I'll just call it a mini rant on the video. I'm ticked off we lost. That's all it is. I can't stand when we're being embarrassed and we don't really do anything, guys. We throw 10 hits the final 2 periods in a game where we were being embarrassed. I don't know. Don't you think, guys, we should have been out there smacking them around a bit? Pushing their face in the glass and things like, don't you think? I think so. I think we should have took more penalties in a game like this. I would have loved to see the Sabres get 20 penalty minutes in a game like this. I don't care if the score goes 10-0. Do something. Take a stand. Have some pride. This goddamn thing about... transition. Finesse hockey. It drives me crazy, so... I'm killing the video. I'm ticked off. I'm sick of watching the team struggle like this, guys, when it really matters. I'm sick of them being a shit home team. I'm sick of it. You know, it's like we did all this building, and we're in so many areas developing properly, except one of the main facets of hockey. We're avoiding like cowards, okay? And cowards eventually pay the price. That's all I know. That's all I see right now is a team that has no guts. I see a very talented bunch. I see a team with a future, a team that could win a Stanley Cup, probably with a different coach. A coach that's going to teach them every facet of the game, not his favorite. All right, guys, on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go cool off and relax, and try to make sense that our team, once again, didn't show up with any mean and got slaughtered on their home ice, even though I know they kind of grooved into the game by the end, but it's like, how long can we do this on home ice and stick around? Really? You know, I love this team, guys, but I hate the system. I hate the system we represent. I hate the softness. I hate the fact that they're trying to be one of the innovators of the new NHL where you don't play physical. I don't want that, because that never, ever, ever wins Stanley Cups. You're never going to see the lowest hitting team in hockey be the lowest hitting team in the playoffs and win a Stanley Cup. It will never happen in your lifetime. Get it out of your heads. The ones that have the wuss mentality and think, oh, well, we don't have to hit no more. Now there's no more fighting. Let's get hitting out of the game. It's like, come on. Enough. Enough of this shit, honestly. I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm ticked. You know, it's turning into a rant, but I'm upset because we didn't come out ready like a playoff game. See, that to me is how we would have showed up in the playoffs today, guys. What you've seen today. That's the team that would have showed up in the playoffs. The non-physical team, that's what would happen to us in the playoffs. Exactly what you've seen there today. That's exactly what would go down. And I just want them ready. You know, the Rangers under Gallant are ready. Okay, that team gets into the playoffs this year, could win the Stanley Cup, the New York Rangers. They could win the Stanley Cup, even though they're not the most talented team, because they're really not. But they play such a good brand of hockey. They play the up and down game, but they also play a hard-nosed physical game. And that is something Gallant said when he took over that. That's why I wanted Gallant as our coach years ago, guys. Because Gallant, the first thing he said when he took over the Rangers, they got to learn how to play physical, then they're going to learn how to play hockey. It's the first thing he said when he took over them. And boom, right away, they're one of the top hitting teams in the league. First year there, Final Four. Right away with one of the youngest teams, younger than we were last year. Younger. And they went to the Final Four. And here's the Sabres now with a multitude, a mass amount of talent on this team, on this squad. And we're going to let it go to waste because we're playing like chicken shits, okay? Till we fix that, I'm telling you guys right now, we're going to suffer. And that drives me crazy, folks. It drives me nuts. It breaks my heart. It just does. I feel like, you know, we're going to do all this for naught when it's all said and done because we didn't address a glaring issue, and that is on Kevyn Adams. Goddamn good general manager, guys. He is. He's one hell of a GM. And that Granato's one hell of a coach. But they're inexperienced in their positions, and they don't get it, I think, when it comes to this part of the game. And it kills me. It kills me to watch. It just does, game after game after game. I got to stick by my team because I love them, so I don't have a choice. But I wish they'd wake up. I just wish they'd wake up this way. I wish we'd start hitting 30 hits a night. What's the big deal about throwing the body? What is the big deal about going into the corners and being meaner? What are we scared of? You know, and I think we're just going to get steamrolled the rest of the year if we're going to play this way. We're just going to get steamrolled on our home ice, and that kills me, but we'll see. We got to go now into Tampa and Florida, and we might just get slaughtered in both those games if we're going to play non-physical, because Florida and Tampa, as we know, can hit. Both those teams can hit. Tampa on a good night can throw 40, 45 hits. Us on a good night, we throw 8 to 12. Okay? Today was an exception to the rule because we're playing Toronto, so we want to play a little meaner. So it's kind of ridiculous, but it is the truth. Watch the next game. They'll out-hit us something like 30 to 14 or something and kill us. We're going to have to go into this game, guys, ready. Really, really ready to be physical. If we're not, we're losing in Tampa. Then we're going to go to Florida. We have to be really ready to play physical again. If we don't, we're going to lose again. I'm going to just put it out there. If we go in there, those games, thinking we can play the non-physical, nonchalant, I don't want to get beat up game. If we're going to go in there and play that, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Absolutely no. We're going to just get slaughtered. I got to stop this video, guys. I'm going way too far. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.